This entire time, Jesus, you've been with me in every way, in every second.
Talia Reed had been trying to experience God with the kind of determination usually reserved for people training for ultra-marathons or attempting to assemble IKEA furniture without emotional collapse. She was 27, intelligent, sincere, and spiritually exhausted. For 3 years, she had pursued encounter after encounter with admirable hunger and increasingly questionable methods. She attended worship nights in converted warehouses lit like moody coffee commercials. She bought prayer journals with linen covers that silently accused her from the nightstand. She downloaded meditation apps narrated by people who sounded like they lived in candlelight. She fasted. She prayed in tongues until her jaw got tired. She went on silence retreats where everyone behaved like making eye contact would summon Beelzebub. Then came the psychedelics. A friend with very peaceful eyebrows assured her that plant medicine had opened him to divine love. Talia's experience was less divine love and more, what if wallpaper had motives? Another session left her convinced for 2 hours that her own hands were judging her. If there had been revelation available, it had taken one look at the room and gone home. Still, she kept striving. Every morning she prayed, every evening she reflected. She analysed her inner world like a detective assigned to a cold case involving her own soul. Why don't I feel him? Why is everyone else seeing angels in sunbeams while I'm over here trying not to spiritually disassociate in Trader Joe's? Eventually, she hit the wall. Not a dramatic rebellion, just fatigue. The kind that makes striving feel heavy and religious in the worst sense. One night, after another flat prayer session in which her thoughts wandered from Jesus to laundry detergent to whether blueberries had gone bad in the fridge, she sat on her bed and said out loud, "I quit." Not faith, not God, just the chase. "I cannot keep manufacturing an experience," she whispered. "If you're real, you'll have to show me." Then she slept, and Jesus came to her in a dream. Not vague symbolism, not strange allegory involving goats on roller skates. This was vivid, coherent, hyper-real, more solid than waking life. The air itself seemed alive. Light carried meaning. And there he was, calm, joyful, utterly present, not theatrical, not intimidating, familiar in the way truth feels familiar once it stands in front of you. He walked with her through scenes from her ordinary life. Her morning commute, her cluttered kitchen, a text thread with a friend, a moment in line at a grocery store, her crying in the car for no obvious reason, a sudden impulse to call her mother, a kind thought she'd had toward a stranger, the idea to take a different route home, the quiet nudge not to send a reactive message, the strange peace that had occasionally fallen on her for no explainable reason. In every scene, Jesus highlighted the hidden currents. "That good thought," he said gently, "was me. That restraint was me. That comfort was me. That idea to pause was me. That desire for truth was me. That strength to keep going was me." Talia watched her own life unfold like annotated film footage from heaven. What she had dismissed as ordinary had been full of divine fingerprints. What she called coincidence had often been guidance. What she called her own better instincts had often been Christ quietly at work. She had been searching for lightning while ignoring electricity. Then he said the words that undid her. "You were never doing this alone. Every day my Father is at work, and I am too." John 5:17 was no longer a verse, it was an explanation. She had assumed experiencing God meant dramatic spiritual sensations, as if the Holy One were required to behave like a cinematic special effect. But Jesus showed her something better. His authorship was constant, intimate, woven through each second of her life. Every truly good motion toward love, peace, wisdom, kindness, beauty, and restraint had not been proof of his absence. It had been evidence of his presence. The whole dream pulsed with one liberating revelation. Witnessing God's hand in life frees you from the illusion of control and striving. You stop trying to manufacture heaven and start noticing that heaven has been quietly mentoring you all day. When Talia woke up, she was crying and laughing at once, which is deeply inconvenient before coffee. Nothing outside had changed. Her room was still messy, the blueberries were still suspicious, but inside, a knot had broken.
She stopped striving to produce an experience and started using faith to acknowledge a fact. Jesus was with her in every second of every day, actively accomplishing what destiny required. She began to notice him everywhere. In a wise hesitation, in a burst of gratitude, in the timing of a conversation, in the strength to repent quickly, in joy rising for no obvious earthly reason. And surprisingly, joy became more frequent once she stopped chasing it like a fugitive. She still prayed, still worshipped, still meditated sometimes, but now it was participation, not performance. Response, not grasping. She had wanted a spectacular God. What she found was better. A constant one.